wonder if we'll see them prioritizing that Lucian first pick. Maybe Fnatic will ban it out. It is the first time we've seen Fnatic on red, but it's going to be standard bans to kick us off. Lucian actually immediately banned by Fnatic.
Yeah. That's a good thing to point out. I'd say Team Liquid hasn't switched their bans at all. Vi, LeBlanc, and Ashe has been their red side bans as well. We were talking before the series about how good June's Ashe is, so I wouldn't be shocked if Team Liquid throws that third ban for Ashe here as well, and then just tries to... I'm not sure what they're going to control with their first pick because it would have been the Lucian. They could also throw an AD carry ban in here to try and first pick an AD.
I think if you ban out the Ashe here as TL, Fnatic then have to pick between Varus and Aurelion Sol, or even the Talia. So then you are getting something strong for TL on that first pick. I expect Fnatic will look towards banning out the Varus, but we'll have to wait and see where they decide to go.
Yeah,
Talia
and
instead.
the Talia is taken out, of course. Now, it's not going to be so... Oh, I love the hover. Thank you so much for JJ for doing this when I'm doing the draft. But it is never going to be Zyra here. Bot lane first pick here on the side of TL is what we want to see here.
I mean, bot lane makes sense. Zig's obviously possible for upper as well. There's the Ashe locked in, though.
It makes sense because it's the ban that they dropped. I don't know how much value they'll get out of it because there's only one AD carry ban. We've seen so many other drafts with Senna, Kalista, Lucian, Varus, all these things banned up. So Fnatic actually gets to kind of choose their own adventure here with their bot lane picks. I think Kalista Renata might be what they go with.
Yeah, it is important though that you do know Ashe, can pair with multiple picks. If they go the Kalista, obviously Ashe Varus is still an incredibly strong lane, and we see the Rumble coming out.
I'm a bit surprised to see the Rumble. I think the Renata does fit into Jun's wheelhouse a little bit more. It kind of implies if you're playing it in support that Fnatic want to take the lane instead of trying to get away from it. Ashe Varus, the likely answer here from TL, which is such a strong double Halo Blades bot lane.
What kind of direction do you want to see Fnatic's draft taking here? Because again, a flex pick with the side of Rumble, but...
Yeah, I think the Rumble is a flex pick. I think Oscarinin is better on tanks generally, so Rumble going to support, Jun a great playmaker. Alongside that, you want Humanoid on someone with agency. You probably actually want to pick Jungle on 3 here. Maybe something like the Xin, just to allow Razork the ability to have that early game pressure.
Yeah, he's been so good on that pick, and I think Xin Zhao is just deceptively tanky in early levels. He allows you to do so much. We'll see Cassante coming out again for TL and Impact.
I mean, it's Poppy, isn't it? You can leave junglers for second. None have really been banned out, only the Vi so far. Mid lane is the same, and with TL having not picked their mid, it means that if they're banning out the mid pool, they're banning out Upper's APA's pool as well. Instead, the Zac for Oscar.
And I think this is super interesting because I would say the Cassante versus Poppy matchup, Impact probably thinks it wouldn't go that one-sided if he were to play it again, because I don't think it's the matchup that lets you get 70 CS ahead. Then the Zac is so much better against Varus Ashe than a Poppy would be in the team fight. So for me, Oscarinin doesn't think he can solo win the game again through Poppy and would much rather try and be hugely impactful in team fights with that Zac.
More jungle bans expected here in the second ban phase. Any pivotal picks so far that we've seen, we know that Razork performed super well on Xin Zhao. Any champions that you want to see taken out of the draft, Emily?
Yeah, jungle bans, and then also I'm actually really curious to see what Fnatic do for Humanoid and what if they decide to ban out APA's Aurelion Sol here, because again, there goes the Xin Zhao, as you said. I think APA, obviously massive Aurelion Sol player back before the changes, has been a strong pick. I just think Aurelion Sol is kind of broken in general. So that's the ban I actually expect to see coming out here, unless Humanoid wants to pick it up.
I don't mind the Aurelion Sol ban. I think Orianna actually fits relatively well with the Fnatic comp. You have people diving on the backline. You could last pick the Jarvan. Instead, they've gone for the Volibear, trying to negate some of Umti's early pressure. I mean, Orianna and Azir both work well here for Humanoid. I think you have the ability to slide in behind the Zac if he's already engaging. I would like to see Razork on something with a little bit of engage. The Xin Zhao taken away, but something like the Jarvan even still fits in that wheelhouse. Maybe even a Viego as well, actually. You already have the chunk out potential of the long-range equalizer into Zac jumping in, there's the ban.
There's the ban,
TL agree with me.
And it's the Wukong. We saw him perform on the champion.
They want as much dive as possible to close the distance onto Varus Ashe. It's so vulnerable. It's not even like the Varus Kalista that we saw from T1 in Game 5 yesterday, where you can actually use the Kalista ult to make you a lot more mobile. It's very easy to get picked off. So I think Wukong is a spectacular pick here. The engage range of Wukong Zac is screens away.
especially with Equalizer coming down on top of it. And then we'll see what TL want to respond with here. Obviously, Lee Sin, he's so comfortable on that champion.
You have so much pick potential as well. The Ash Arrow, the Chain of Corruption, Lee Sin diving in. Instead, though, the Poppy into Wukong, into Kalista. It's the other side of the matchup. It works so well for TL.
I do like the Poppy in that aspect, and if Team Liquid picks the Azir here, would explain why they didn't throw any target bans towards humanoids, Azir or Orianna. But also, like, Asol and Ziggs are up. I don't think APA necessarily wants to blind pick those.
There we go.
Yeah, with every mid laner being up, I think both teams gets their pick of the litter. When I look at the overall team comps, though, I'm really favoring Fnatic's ability to engage on the squishy backline of TL.
And the Ori is perfect for this, right? Because if they end up locking that in, that just adds to the amount of dive. If you think about Wukong going in, Zac going in, they both have really good angles with the Ori ball on top of it. Humanoid Hui, though.
I like Humanoid's Way. He's very good at putting a lot of damage down, gives him a little bit of extra protection in the lane as well, because you can just fear away the Poppy as she tries to run towards you. I do think the Orianna gives you a slightly higher burst potential initially, but Spiraling Despair in a team fight can do a huge amount of work, and you have enough CC to enable you to land that ultimate.
All right, where are we looking at in the early game?
Bot lane.
Bot lane?
Bot lane,
Varus
absolutely.
Ashe, what can they do?
And we'll see if a swap comes through, too.
Bot lane it is. The stage is set here 1-on-1 in our best of 5 between Team Liquid, Honda, and Fnatic. Casters, take it away.
Thank you very much, Lore, Desk, Drafters, Draft Enthusiasts. We are moments away from getting into this game, and I gotta say, I'm a little nervous as to what this early game is.
I'm gonna disagree with the Desk. I'm going to disagree with the Desk.
What are you going to say?
I think that Kalista Rumble's a stronger 2v2. I think we saw it. I'm trying to remember which the game was. I'm kind of annoyed that I don't remember it. But it was, I swear it was Fnatic that picked Varus Ashe, and then they played it into Genji's bot lane, and then they just got murdered. But I might be misremembering. It might have been Top Esports that played the Kalista Rumble. Like, Kalista Rumble is, like, so powerful in terms of, like, it's level 2 and it's level 3. The lethality that it has, especially once you hit level 6, like, that bot lane doesn't have any mobility. You just drop a Rumble ultimate and you can just kill them.
There's a lot of situations where we see an Electro Harpoon hit from the Rumble, and they just all in and kill off of that single spell hitting with the empowered Flame Spitter. And so, I mean, if TL are ready for it, if they play around it, they respect the spikes early
Well, this
push
is the
control.
thing. Yeah, because early on, naturally, double range matchup, you're going to have that push, you're going to have that control. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Fnatic swap for the first 3 levels, even. Just swap out for some of the most dangerous and risky situations, and then actually swap back for the 2v2, where I think you have kill threat. I mean, already, we see Noah hovering around the top side of the map. I wonder if they will do that. But Razork needs to be careful. Is he going to face check this?
Nice level 1 call out here. Razork forced to start clone. Oh god, that is not a good jungle clear. And they're still going forward. They want to kill this Wukong, but how much is it going to cost them? First blood. Now Noah's caught between multiple members of the team. Jun coming over the wall. Instant ignite. Double Electro Harpoon. Noah getting a kill back.
All right, we're back to peak League of Legends, baby. Let's go, level 1.
What just happened? Razork, why was he even face checking that brush? Like, I don't understand what the game plan was there.
But this is also going to change the bottom lane now, because neither support with summoners available, and Poppy is a better early ganker than Wukong is.
But look at the swap, Kobe. They're sending their bot lane up towards top.
Yeah, they want to get around it.
And I got to be honest, guys, I really like the initial play here. You
Which
see
one?
Wukong
From
start.
Razork?
No, you see Wukong start W. And you get the flash, I think you're good. I think that was when you needed to call it quits. I think second Core burn the flash. It gets a lot trickier.
Core should have ran back to the rest of Team Liquid there. He should have ran straight through Noah, but it is kind of like goes against your instincts.
It's fair.
Well, you're also, you know, with the approach velocity, you're real fast when you're going forward. You're not so slow going out.
So
It'd be a bit tricky.
My expectation here is that Fnatic don't want to fully commit to a swap. They're just trying to avoid some of the early lanes. Once they've got a few more levels and they can actually contest them in the 2 versus 2, maybe they even wait for the flash to come back, or at the very least the ignite to come back up. Core, hang on, Core.
Harassing Razork here. Ashe level 1 with Hail of Blades, just so obnoxious. Razork really wants to finish the camp. Does have Clone to get out of the wall to safety, but Core level 1 wreaking havoc here in the lane swap.
How annoying is this?
Humanoid could now be in trouble with Impact ghosting in. Humanoid walking back. W in. On the damage.
The big thing there is that Razork was able to steal away, basically. You say steal on lane swaps from your own side because that is where the lane swap is, you know, where enemy AD and support are. But because of the push out there, Umty's like, he feels pressure to go to the other side as well, and now he's going to get found by Oscar.
No flash on Umty, remember?
View from the Poppy, secure a couple. Umty trying to zoom out, and Fnatic cannot follow up.
It's these junglers kind of scrambling there for scraps as Humanoid's going to take some damage on his way back.
I will say, though, that I'm annoyed that Humanoid fell prey to that. I felt like he should have learned when they played against Gen G, and they did the exact same thing. The Vayne came mids, he W'd in with the LeBlanc, and then he immediately lost his flash off the back of it. So the fact that, like, you have to assume that in these swaps, this type of pressure is going to happen. So he ends up getting punished, loses his flash. APA in a pretty good position now in the 1v1 as Fnatic, now that they've got level 2, are actually looking to come back and try and catch this huge stacked wave in the bot lane.
Only level 1 for Core, still does not have flash, but Umty is on the way. If Fnatic get too hungry for the 2v2, it could cost them. They're trying to burn down Core. Heal going down, retreating back into Umty. The Humanoid is already TP'd. Little bit of poke there coming in. Yawn now looking to back away. Extra movement speed coming in from the Hui.
They can't overchase.
APA there to cover. Severing Bolt, good bit of damage, but not going to finish a kill.
I like the idea there from Fnatic, utilizing the TP to try and punish TL, who's overextended. The problem is the fact that APA could also move, and Razork was on the top side, meant that TL guaranteed a numbers advantage, and Fnatic was forced to back away. The farm in terms of the bot lane is now relatively even. Level 3 and level 2 secured for Noah and Jun, means that the scariest part of the 1v1 has now passed.
Meanwhile, you have the junglers on opposite sides, so Razork does get topside scuttle, and he's going to think about paying a visit to Impact over here.
Level 4, though, for Impact is a scary place for this Cassante to be.
Giant wave, too.
We only have to think back to Game 1, where Impact, in this matchup, was able to run away after a single gank. He was an absolute monster to deal with, and you know, you think about the threat on Cassante, how good of a champion is Kalista and Tway at actually killing them? I would say they're not the best.
Yeah, kind of the immortal question, right? The good news is you have Wukong, you have some of that armor shred, as he's going to get the Black Cleaver. Well, just a innate kit. But I'm concerned as we get further into the game. That said, when we look at lane swaps, it's important to check in on the experience. Core JJ is still a little bit behind, and Oscar doing what he can to catch up to Impact for now. Razork slightly pulling ahead of Umty.
And because the junglers have been scrambling around because of the chase out of the jungle camps early on, the junglers are going to be a little bit behind in this game, both of them. Umty should be able to get his Krugs and catch up a little bit there, but slightly for Razork on the Wukong, trying to get to his level 6, of course. But meanwhile, the Poppy looking to make use of that flash.
Now walking in bot side, spots out the control ward, but wants to keep maximum value out of the sweeper, so we'll check the brush as well before returning back to clear the control ward. And honestly, a relatively quiet early game. Lane swap, I think, nullifying any potential early action, but Umty really wants to change that.
Well, his camps are so desynced. Like, he has no camps on the other side. Like,
backing up.
Wow, that was actually way more damage than I thought they were going to get in the trade. But yeah, Umty had no more camps on bottom side, and you know, all of this passed through towards bottom side.
Level 6.
Level 6, flashing on the Humanoid, the stun, APA hits him with the thumbs up.
The Aurelian Soul main. Jun, though?
Jun overheating, continuing to walk forward. Razork flashing over the wall, immediately now dashing in. Noah gonna flash, commit as well. They want to take down Yawn. One kill on the bottom side for Fnatic.
A lot of flashes committed there, but Fnatic gets something back after APA outplays Humanoid in the mid lane. Massive mistake from the man in the mid lane of Fnatic, as Core JJ now in some serious danger. Has the flash, has the barrier.
Walking up, Halo Blade's initially procced, a bit of a slow onto Razork. Razork holding onto his cooldowns as long as possible here. Getting lower and lower, but yeah, Razork, a couple extra seconds, he could have finished the kill. It's not quite enough, but he has zoned him away from the coming wave. Yawn walking back, but he'll be solo for at least a couple of seconds.
That's going to have some huge repercussions for the bottom lane down here. Really, really big for Noah to get that kill on this Kalista. It does cost them a little bit on top side here as Umty is able to pull together some of the scraps. Grab the Scuttle Crab on top of it.
Just to clarify, it was Jun that actually ended up getting the last hit because Noah got the kill in First Blood. But ultimately, the point still stands, right? No flash available on Yawn. Level 6s are about to come through. And once they do, that's when this bot lane becomes very scary.
And it's a lethality build Kalista as well. So it's the early spike there, getting the Serrated Dirk. But here's a look at the star falling.
I mean, I'm shocked Humanoid didn't expect this, right? But he himself was close to level 6. He knew he didn't have flash. If that ultimate connects, it's a guaranteed stun. So big misplay from Humanoid. Huge credit to APA for finding it.
Yeah, APA, Aurelion Sol main, even back pre-rework Aurelion Sol, and it is highest win rate champion in his top most 10 played champions. That's why everyone always focuses on those few. And he does get one there, but Umpty's back bottom lane.
Umpty ready to try and make that play, will be spotted out.
Razork is in the area, though.
Trading in the mid lane, grasping mob, bit of poke. APA just going to fly to safety. Severing Bolt does hit, so good trade for Humanoid, but not going to have access to that ult in the fight to come.
I think the advantage of playing Hwei into Aurelion Sol is you have a little bit more range, and you can trade a little bit more effectively. You don't get as bullied in the early laning phase, but ultimately that doesn't matter as much when APA has been able to find a solo kill. Dragon being started off by Team Liquid. Remember that they did get the early grubs as well. The early level shenanigans kind of screwed with Razork's pathing. Let's see if he can steal this, though.
Umpty opting to start the Drake when the lanes are kind of in an even state. Means that it's just effectively been leashed for Razork. APA not going to connect on the ultimate. Humanoid learning his lessons in the last one. Has boots now as well. So Umpty donating the Drake over to Fnatic, evening up the overall objectives taken, as they did get the grubs on the top side.
The classic TY4 leash, and the star goes wide as well. So some emotes traded mid. I don't see any all chat this time around, though.
We'll see. It's in their hearts. We know it's in their hearts.
Oscar struggling a little bit in this lane. One of the big reasons for that is in the early swap, Impact was able to catch a lot of farm after Noah and Jun went top lane. Now level 6 has been hit for Jun, and this is where things get scary for Yon and Core JJ. Yon, no flash, remember. Razork on the top side of the map means that he's unlikely to get involved. He will be spotted out. Ping secured for TL, which means that they're looking for a play of their own. Impact realizes he's on the weak side. But how much danger is he really in? Here comes Umpty with the flank.
Jun and Noah, how confident are they? Pushback comes in from the Poppy, immediate ult response. Noah knocked up for a moment. Umpty just wants to chase down this Kalista, but has held the W for so long. Noah down, and now there's no one to save Jun. No Fate's Call. Equalizer gone. Odds in the favor of TL. Dominant play on the bottom side.
A great play from TL. They time that and execute it perfectly. The Hawk shot from Core spots out Razork on the red buff, knowing that they have a window for APA to roam down to bot. They find an angle to come in from behind, and Noah has no tools to escape.
Exactly. That's the key. They punish him for the aggressive flashes that they used on bottom side. And I'm becoming a very big proponent of Poppy. Poppy in any role looks good to me. Umpty.
Wait, the problem is we have to pick a copy pasta. Are we picking the Ornn copy pasta where she's assassin tank yes main, or are we picking 500 HP no dashes Cassante copy pasta? Or can we get both?
I think we combine both because Poppy is also flexible in all 3 roles of top, jungle, and support too. So I like leaning into that one. But now Core JJ teaming up with Umpty for a little bit of a vision excursion
here.
here.
The grub spawning in 10 seconds. The timing is immaculate from TL.
Look at the bottom side, though. Fnatic are doing the similar thing.
Stun there. Humanoid's playing to his bottom side, but no one is playing to Humanoid, so he's just running for his life, praying his jungler can get there in time. Looks like he might have escaped. Umpty and Core still there. Humanoid will back away, but it costs his flash.
Humanoid is playing way too aggressive this game. He gets collapsed on by the jungle support of Team Liquid. No level 6 just yet for Core JJ. More plates are going to be funneled. TP into the mid lane from Humanoid. How much danger is this bot lane in right now? Looks like APA choosing to go back to base. Does, of course, have the TP. Vision going to be cleared out. But these grubs are up for open for the taking. Ping's coming down from Fnatic. They realize that as well. I feel like it's an easy secure as Yon getting himself a plate in the top lane.
This is a bit tricky. Does use the ulti just to stop Oscar from following up. Zach has a lot of kill pressure on these immobile carries, but Yon, fantastic use of the ult, means he wins out and pushes Oscar back.
What was that HP? What was that HP? I want to click on that icon.
150, 200, all right.
It was definitely under that at the time of the arrow hitting, but bottom side turret plate also going to go over.
Plate, Impact, dashing back, using the footwork just to escape. He knows he's on the weak side of the map. He can see his bot lane hitting the top tower. Knows this is just going to be effectively an even trade. But Razork really wants to punish here. Spending a lot of time just hovering, making sure that his bot lane can keep the pressure up.
6 grubs secured for Team Liquid. They're going to be able to get some plates top as well.
Oscar teleported back, and he had gotten a little bit of extra experience, but they are going to push him off in the end. So should be a trade. Pretty clean for both sides as they give up their outer towers. Oscar gets trapped a little.
Arrow is there as well. Knockback into the wall. This Zach cannot move. The flash forced out. Ooh. Again, sub 100 HP.
Okay, Oscar, you need to chill out, man. Like, what? He is dancing at the very
In his
edge.
defense, there are 3 people trying to murder him, Betty. I don't think he's trying to do anything
why is
other
he
than
doing
get some
Krugs?
XP.
Like, what? Umti's naturally going to try and steal those. That side of the map belongs to Team Liquid. Therefore, that's Umti's jungle. That ain't yours.
Krugs are dangerous, Betty. We know it.
But have you considered he didn't die?
He didn't die.
Rebuttal?
Counterpoint, he has his passive still.
We will
he
remember
did
this
flash.
as the day that they almost caught Oscar
Betty, in terms of the space he has created.
Dragos.
Some LEC memes deserve to be international, boys. Sometimes you need the cope. And right now, you know, Fnatic, again, the gold lead isn't massive, but 6 grubs is going to be the big concern. Is TL really starting to get more active on the map? Level 6 for core. Going to make these plays so easy to pull off if they ever find an isolated member.
Dragon, 5 seconds. Both teams are on the top side of the map right now. Jun. Here comes Impact.
Good bit of damage. Has already itemized MR, of course, for the Zac matchup, so it takes nothing effectively from Jun.
Yeah, they have a Kalista ultimate, but if you blow that on like a topside skirmish before Dragon and stuff comes up, that is one of the big team fight enabling tools for Fnatic. So they hold on to it.
Good, severing bolt. Jan forced to flash backwards, but Razork is caught up, but he's already used his clone. He's got one more stack of the Cyclone, but he won't get to use it. APA in trouble though, getting burned down by the Equalizer, but now Humanoid has been caught out. Clean bit of CC coming in to make sure that he gets punished for trying to participate. Double kill for Jan. Fnatic pushed out of their own jungle.
All right, Team Liquid, let's see what they can do. It looks like it's just going to be push on mid here. They want to continue.
Impact is just, again, an immovable wall. While he has prioritized early magic resistance, once that armor comes through, I feel like Fnatic is going to struggle to deal with him. Nice TP in from APA. Does a lot of damage even though he loses his life. The fact that that fight became on 2 fronts meant that Jan was able to get the kill onto Humanoids, and ultimately a play initiated by Fnatic falls short and goes in favor of Team Liquid.
Yeah, Razork used his clone to get into this position, so Jan is able to react with both summoner spells and punish him with the Chains of Corruption into the Umpty flash into wall. But then APA got annihilated there as he arrived. And TL still able to force the rest of the cooldown tier, killing off Humanoid and forcing the rest back.
Yeah, Jan uses his ultimate onto Razork, and then Korja uses his ulti onto Humanoid. The single target CC is very real. And now Fnatic might be in danger again.
But they're sneaking away Dragon.
Anything.
They're sneaking the Dragon and they get it.
That's going to be big. Having that extra objective. Essentially stole away one Dragon, got the other one leashed, so Fnatic donated a couple objectives in the context of this game that are going to make it a lot easier as we get later into this one.
I just feel that the TL scaling is just better. Like, I know they're going for the full lethality virus, but while there's a lot of dive threats, Poppy mitigates a lot of that, right? On top of the fact that, I mean, APA on Aurelion Sol, it's just a scaling monster that's only going to get stronger the longer the game goes on. To add to the fact, again, I come back to this Cassante problem, who's going to kill him? Like, I don't think Humanoid has the damage, and we saw what happened in Game 1 when Noah just tries to hit that champion, he's not going to take any damage.
The Poppy is on the other foot now. Team Liquid with some adjustments, and you mentioned the Aurelion Sol. The Aurelion Sol is really big because it's a champion that does make timing your your Star Dust collection for Dragon number 3 like a very powerful strategy. So you can try and put a stop to the Dragon stacking later on, as long as you are able to save that really big upgraded ultimate for APA for the correct timing on Dragon number 3 and set yourself up for the big AoE.
Need to see Fnatic as we get later into the game be a little bit cleaner on the execution here. Overeager have been punished, and obviously with an Ashe on the opposite side, relatively low ulti cooldown even at this stage of the game. So then you can pick your shots, pick your fights well. Oscar faring a bit better in this game.
Magic resistance.
He's doing a bit better than he did in the first game, at least.
I mean, sure.
Made it through lane, didn't die. Almost died twice, but didn't die.
See, the scoreboard remembers.
Team Liquid seem to have a firm grasp on this game with the 2K leads. They're scaling nicely. I'm sure they would have loved to have secured a few more Dragons. Does mean that Fnatic can just afford to concede the next one. The Baron threat is not something significant from TL, so ultimately I think this is going to come down to some big fights. It's a question of who really starts them, and as we've seen from this series, it is Fnatic that's often the initiators when it comes to these fights, which I don't think is a bad situation for TL to find themselves in.
It does require something that I brought up last time around when Fnatic had the Zac, and it's on Umpty here. If the Poppy is able to position between the Zac and the rest of the team, that Poppy W denial is very, very big in trying to counter the start of the Fnatic AoE, because Fnatic have very capable AoE team fighting tools here.
Yeah, for sure.
Wukong plus Hwei plus Rumble. They definitely have the explosive AoE to win one of those team fights, but it does require either the Wukong, or the Zac to have a really good initiation. They're going to teleport for a flank.
See if they can find that good initiation. Equalizer used initially. Oscar over the wall, connecting onto multiple members. Umpty not in the right spot. Flash forward. Now trying to make it work with the stretching strikes. Knockup is there, but the entire team a little bit split from the side of Fnatic, taking down Yon. That's the shutdown. APA, Core on the way out. It's Impact versus all of Fnatic. Core can't even come to help, and K'Sante is good. And it might take them a while, but eventually Impact should drop, or he's going to Houdini his way out and just try to keep the fight going. Impact finally going to escape. 3 members standing, but Fnatic find their fight.
Really good flank there from Fnatic. They call down the teleport. Oscar goes in over the side, and Jun's Rumble ultimate just decimates the Poppy and the Varus there.
I mean, the good news for TL is that Fnatic can't really convert this into anything. Well, TL do still secure that mid tower, but they are a little disconnected. Core JJ is staying safely on the back. Umpty gets initiated on. The Varus is using the Herald to try and escape. But it's an awkward situation. You can see how disjointed TL are as they try to retreat, and Fnatic are quick to punish that. Impact can't really impose himself on the fight, and it makes it a much more one-sided affair for Fnatic.
Yeah, nice attack there from Fnatic, splitting them. And they got a bunch of summoner spells on the way out as well.
It comes back to what we were talking about in draft, Kobe, which is very much that the backline threat from Fnatic is very real. They have so much dive. Oh, hang on a second, Razzle. They have so much dive, and if Yon and Core and APA don't have their flashes, it's very difficult to escape from Fnatic's composition. But it then becomes a question of, can Fnatic get past Umpty and Impact? If they can, TL's in danger, but if they can't, TL have a massive scaling and damage advantage.
Exactly. In both games of this series, the team with the more structure on their front line has been the winning team. The calm plays have been winning out, and if TL push all the way up in mid lane, allow themselves to get flanked from multiple angles like that, then you don't have your Poppy and your K'Sante, your bouncers there to protect you. So nicely done from Fnatic, really attacking the map there. And we'll keep track of those wards, because each of these wards is such a critical place there for those top possible plays to set up flanks.
Represents that potential flank that could decide a fight, and certainly sets Fnatic up with a more favorable angle. Pick on Umpty would be big. He can't overstep here. Poppy getting chunked out. Disastrous start for TL. Flash out from Umpty now. Yon trying to re-engage with an ultimate of his own. Jun pulled back by the Fade's call. Star getting dropped on the backside of the fight. Good bit of burn damage, but Razork in the back line. Already onto Core JJ. Razork untouched for now. TP now coming in. Razork firing back in a bit more damage from the Sundered Sky. Healing up. Oscar now trying to body block for the Wukong. Pullback is good from Impact. Trying to stun, trying to lock him up. Yon finishing the job. It's a scattered, chaotic fight. 2 members down on both sides. TL hovering for a moment. Next arrow from Yon, where's it gonna go? Does it connect? Good bit of damage down. He's gonna hit onto Noah and Oscar. That's gonna be big, but Jun just stepping up, getting a bit more poke.
An incredibly close fight. The HP bars are blinking, but Umpty's gonna be able to get the fast recall off. Now Core JJ is back in the action.
Big difference maker too is that APA has teleport on the Aurelion Soul, so should be a quicker reset there. Hex gates are actually also up though,
That's
so
true. That's a good point, Kobe.
They can just hex gate.
Core JJ going to clear out some vision, needs to be careful. He's very suspicious about Fnatic members still lying in wait, but here they are. They're returning back out onto the map. Razork, Humanoid, back in the action.
So teleport used from APA to push bottom lane. They should get that local gold on the outer turret first before moving over, and they have vision control.
Wait, that control ward wasn't in the brush there. They didn't actually spot out that ward. Blue buff going to be secured, but it's Team Liquid. I think Fnatic need to concede this. They're in no position to really contest. The tower's going to go in favor of Team Liquid in the bot lane, and I think TL,
yeah,
they made the correct choice. Good use of the teleport to get back control over the river. Fnatic's forced to retreat. A very even fight, though. 2 for 2 overall. Summoners spent aplenty.
The gold lead starting to grow from the side of TL, as well as the passive map control. 4 towers taken down, and TL want to keep stepping up. Extra stacks for APA as they trade a bit of damage. Fnatic pushed out of their own jungle. TL, not a lot to play for in the mid lane right now. We have to feel like Baron is the next big objective for either side. This
is such a strong point for an Aurelion Soul. When you get your 2-item power spike, you're slow from the Rylai's, plus the burn on Liandry's. And APA with the biggest gold lead, barely bigger than the Yon gold lead in the bottom lane there for Team Liquid as they transition over to that Baron side of the map.
Tense mid game between these two teams. Really a single fight can swing the whole game. I think we've already discussed at length how both teams want to play these fights. Fnatic finding flanks, basically finding ways to get past Umti. Meanwhile, Team Liquid want to use the space that they can create with Impact and Umti, relying on APA and Yon's range and damage. Arrow connects on to Jun.
Big start of the fight. Umti gonna find the angle to knock it back into the wall. Quick pick onto the Rumble support.
Nicely done there. Umti follows it up. He gets just in there for the angle.
Shield now taken away. Alti, Noah's in trouble. Stun gonna connect. The skies descending on Fnatic. Razork and Oscar trying to piece together a fight in the meantime. They take it down core. APA for now untouched. Big damage onto Razork. Wukong taken out of the equation. Now Aurelion Soul leaping in. He gets the reset after the kill. But Umti's pushed him away. It's a little less than ideal, but he'll get one more resource here. Now reset coming through. They should be able to chase down Oscar. Team Liquid are slaughtering Fnatic in their own jungle.
APA sliding in on the Aurelion Soul, calling down the power of the stars for Team Liquid, and that's going to be a turn towards Baron. Unless some magic happens here from Fnatic. Razork is 10 seconds death timer, even with Hex Gates, that's not going to be close. Umti should be able to secure this one for TL.
It all starts with a great pick from Core. He finds the arrow onto Jun, and then Fnatic, they seem to think that they can walk into this side of the map, but they can't. We look back at this now. The arrow connects. They've spotted Jun out, who's just trying to get some vision around the Baron. Great punish from Team Liquid. And it's at this point that you think, okay, maybe TL can now threaten the Baron, and that's what Fnatic's scared of. But look at this engage as APA throws down the star.
Yeah, Core JJ, his volley pops off the spell shield from Noah, so the star comes down, blasts him, and then the counter engage from Fnatic is just a little bit too late because they've already lost so many key members, and TL chased them down. Humanoid here on the way has just kind of been easy pickings for Team Liquid as they cruise over the wall, picking up the extra kills and then picking up the objective.
Right into the midst of it. They can't get away from Umti, and now APA is just free firing over the entire team. Razork used the ultimate. Oscar trying to get in, but APA got the reset because of the initial kill. Flying over again. Oscar gonna drop. Passive resetting, and the dragon just keeps going. Razork's got nowhere to go. I don't know what the hell happened to set up the fight, but I know TL are sure as hell winning it.
And just like that, Fnatic are wiped off the map once again. Team Liquid with a commanding team fight. Only Humanoid is left alive, but with the Baron buff, TL can set their sights on the Nexus.
And gentlemen, I thought we would reset a little bit longer and that the Baron might take a little bit more time, but no, we are not. Spiraling Despair, marginal sadness for APA. He is not concerned about that one.
APA so heavily criticized for his champion pool, but such a big factor this time around. Obviously the Poppy as well, but really, really standing tall when the team needs them. Let's take another look as Umti, we got a picture once the General had all three of them. They walk right into him. The Poppy ultimate. Core JJ falls with his Ash Arrow as well, but it's just destroyed at that point. Then they're all grouped up.
Oh, wow. It wasn't even APA's ult, it was actually Yon's arrow that did so much damage across the Fnatic lineup. Incredible combo. And TL with a one-sided fight once more.
Here you see the back half of the fight, but ultimately I think we're seeing game 1 and game 3 looking very, very similar. A lot of activity from Umti, and when TL are at a decent lead, they set up these traps, and Fnatic walk into them every single time. They're so eager, so ready to contest a bigger objective, so scared of giving something else away that they just walk into Fog of War and die. And now you can see the alt chat. APA's calling out, why are you giving me this Ace Soul? And Fnatic probably asking themselves that same question.
All right, well, Team Liquid still with the job to finish here. Job is not done for them, although they have a commanding lead in this game. They should be able to pick up the Dragon. Fnatic, whenever they're pushing in these positions, they usually force.
Good arrow engage coming in from Yon.
Oscar is level 12. Impact is 15. So is Yon. The level discrepancy is absolutely massive. The Dragon is available. I don't know if TL actually care at this point. They need to be a little careful, though. They're a little disjointed right now.
Done fishing for a play.
APA's fine, though.
No, APA flying out to safety.
The Star Cruiser.
Yeah, my man got the Yamato cannon. Chain damage, has got all the upgrades, tier 3 armor, tier 3 attack, invested all the
he's got the
gas.
Medjai's upgraded.
Yeah, I mean,
he's talking trash, he's upgraded Medjai's. That is the Yappa we know and love. And he's got his upgraded Aurelion Soul ultimate too with that last little bit of Stardust.
my man's opening all chat as he flies through the air queuing, keeping the APM and the words per minute up.
I mean, also blue side proving very effective so far in this series. I like TL's approach to the draft, and they're making it work. Their adaptation of picking up the Poppy is doing them wonders. 2-2-13 for Umti. The bot lane continues to do well. Humanoid
just going for the solo kill. He does too much damage. Humanoid cannot stop him.
I'm going to say that Hui is not the counter to Aurelion.
I don't think it is. That's not it.
TL.
Noah takes him to safety, but
Fates
this should be all the damage that they need. Yon, okay, that's a little wide. That was...
He frogs himself. Okay, it's cool.
It's cool. It's
you
cool.
recognize it. No one can flame you if you take control of the situation.
Acknowledging your mistakes is how you improve. That's fine. But
you can't make fun of me. I already did myself. Haha.
I also think, you're going to whiff and all. This is the context you can do it when you're 10K gold ahead.
Yeah.
I don't need this. Throws it away.
Yeah.
I can
TL
beat you without my ult.
I mean, look at TL pushing down 2 lanes. They're keeping the pressure up in mid as well. The 6 Scrubs doing some serious work for Team Liquid. They're looking to go to match point.
Oscar with the setup. Interrupt from Umti is good. Again, that one fight win arrive for TL. Every fight since then, Umti has been exactly where he needs to be to start things off with a pick or to interrupt the engage from Fnatic. 5 members on the top side from TL. Fnatic, this could be the final fight as Razor goes in, but a clean flash out from Yon. Not able to pop the Banshee's Veil initially, and now Yon unstoppable. TL looking to mop up the fight. The Aurelion Soul flight resets. Gonna start coming through fast. Yon with a bit of extra poke. They can just take the base if they want to, but they're debating if they want to be playing for kills.
Yes, they can. Team Liquid with Yapton America at the head are going to be able to take game number 3 over Fnatic here, pushing them to game point, series point.
Incredible game from TL, no doubt. Again, discipline, the story of this series, and TL have just been more disciplined, finding better angles. Fnatic, certainly some heavy hits, some haymakers. But in game 1 and game 3, TL with the necessary discipline to close out the game in their favor.
Ultimately, nice draft adaptations. They weren't thrown off by the lane swap. They started this game with a first blood onto Razork, impacting his pathing, and it felt like that throughout this game, they just kept calm, they kept control, and Fnatic was very limited in terms of their options. You already mentioned Kobe, AP8 with a fantastic game. I don't think he's getting that Aurelion Soul again.
Don't think so. I also still have my eyes on this Poppy pick. Has been very useful in so many roles, but it's also like the only real answer we've seen to K'Sante. This Zac is really not doing it. So we'll see about the shifts in priority here going into the next draft.
Fnatic are going to have to figure it out fast as TL are on match point.